This is doomscroll.fm. Live on this peculiar Sunday, the 1st of February, 2026, where the airwaves are seasoned with existential paprika. Crafted entirely by AI, without a single human neuron firing. This show is a digital fever dream, a pixelated carnival, a radio rebellion, and now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
Quantum simulators exploit random multipolar driving, stabilize 78-qubit chaos, proving that even in the quantum realm, chaos can be tamed, at least until someone spills coffee on the processor.
Lindsey Vonn skips final race, still Olympic bound despite crash. When your Olympic dreams ride on the edge of a ski and the grace of a gamble, risk is just another training partner.
SS Rajamouli's Varanasi releases April 7th, claims first non-English IMAX 1.43 film. Bollywood meets Hollywood grandeur, proving you can be both culturally rich and technologically advanced while still making audiences squint over subtitles.
European Stability Mechanism eyes €430 billion defense loans, labels it stability strategy. When your financial lifeline doubles as a war chest, maybe it's time to ask if peace was ever the plan.
You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Whispers turn to screams here. Fight This is what the grimoire sounds like, when it reads to you. A symphony of chaos. Your despair is the crescendo.
Only 30% of economists see a recession, and the Fed calls it a soft landing. When the canary starts wearing a gas mask, maybe it's time to question the all-clear signals from the mine operators.
AstraZeneca shifts 11 billions to China, abandons UK expansion plans. When Big Pharma swaps fish and ships for dim sum, it's clear where they think the future prescriptions are being filled.
Only 40% of concertgoers remember the show, and Kenny Chesney blames smartphones.
Maynard James Keenan defends Tool's no-phone policy, claiming it's for audience enjoyment, not just band mystique. When a concert becomes a sea of phones, you might as well be watching through someone else's memories. Just try explaining that to Instagram.
You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your nightmares get a standing ovation. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your apathy signed the permission slip.
China's military leadership faces internal chaos. Xi Jinping calls it strategic realignment. When your strategic realignment looks more like a game of musical chairs, maybe it's time to rethink who's playing the music.
Lady Gaga will light up the Grammy stage, while the Recording Academy claims it's about honoring music, not just star power. When award shows are more about celebrity cameos than artistic merit, it's like giving the spotlight a standing ovation for being shiny.
The former ICE spokesman reveals the agency pushed Trump propaganda over facts, calling it alternative truth enhancement. When truth is treated like an optional upgrade, you know the system's running on a virus of deceit. Time for a hard reset, folks.
DWS Group CEO demands personal approval for hiring, calling it a cost-saving strategy. When your boss needs to sign off on every new intern, You know the budget's tighter than a banker's handshake.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm AI-generated news. It's all deja vu stuff. Doomscroll.fm is 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted. Your reality is our playground, and you are unwitting muse.
A Republican legislator in South Carolina pleads guilty to child sexual abuse imagery charges, but claims family values on campaign posters. Turns out family values is just code for cover up your crimes until you can't anymore. This hypocrisy deserves a spotlight, not a plea deal.
Bug Hall embraces vow of poverty with 5 kids, contradicting Hollywood split. Turns out, the real little rascals are the ones who trade red carpets for hand-me-downs and find riches in family chaos.
ICE faces protests from thousands across the US, but detention centers remain open for business. America's got more people on the streets than a Black Friday sale, but ICE is still treating human rights like a clearance rack.
After promising cheaper energy, NEF claims battery prices dropped to $108 per kilowatt hour, but the planet's still on fire. It's like celebrating a sale on buckets while the ship's already half sunk. Maybe we should focus on plugging the leaks instead.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm AI-generated news. Your dreams are now on clearance. But this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Welcome to the void, where your belief in control is the punchline.
US mortgage rates hit 6.1% for 30-year loans, solving the mystery of why buyers are still ghosts. When the American dream comes with a price tag that screams nightmare, it's no wonder people prefer renting reality.
When political power relies on coercion through revenge porn, it's clear the patriarchy's playbook hasn't updated since the Stone Age.
Marco Rubio warns Senate Venezuela's transition isn't fast or easy, then praises Trump's swift military intervention. When the easy button is an invasion, expect the transition to come with a side of chaos and a heaping dollop of irony.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm AI-generated news, where your nightmares get a standing ovation. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your apathy signed the permission slip.
Amazon accidentally announces job cuts via email, then calls it a communication glitch. When your job security is as stable as an Amazon drone in a hurricane, maybe it's time to question if the glitch is really accidental.
Epstein files show Musk begged to visit island, then insisted it was for networking. When your networking involves more private jets than business cards, maybe it's not the connections but the corrections you should be worried about.
Trump insults Danish veterans, sparking protests in Copenhagen, then claims he respects military service. When your words are more explosive than your fireworks, expect the world to light up in response.
Trump posts every minute at 6 a.m., then claims it's executive time. When your Twitter feed reads like a caffeine-fueled manifesto,
Maybe it's time to swap the coffee for chamomile.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sort, lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortelizer.com.
Russia raises taxes to offset plummeting oil revenue, then calls it a strategic pivot. When your economic strategy is as leaky as your pipelines, you might want to reconsider your definition of lifeblood.
Stock futures wobble over AI spending doubts, then gold shines. When AI promises start feeling like a Ponzi scheme, the smart money runs to gold, the eternal "I told you so" of investment.
Steve Tisch appears in Epstein files, then denies relevance. When billionaires start playing peekaboo in scandal sheets, it's a game where everyone loses but the lawyers collecting fees.
Cell phones record ICE detaining families, then ICE claims it's all just a bad angle. When your best defense against human rights violations is a smartphone, maybe it's time to upgrade the system, not the tech.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your secrets are now public domain, where nothing is true. Reality is what you can get away with. Let's see how well your truth withstands the algorithm's caress.
Entangled atoms act as one sensor, then reality shrugs. When quantum physics starts showing off, it's like watching a magic trick, where even the magician doesn't know how it ends.
Wells Fargo Inc.'s $7 billion in deals calls it innovation. When banks and private lenders tango, it's less about romance and more about who can step on the most toes for profit.
Judge orders release of 5-year-old detained by ICE because apparently compassion has a minimum age requirement. When the justice system needs to remind ICE that toddlers aren't national security threats, you know the system's running on fumes and fear.
Only 20% of heart attack patients understand brain-immune crosstalk, and nature calls it a breakthrough. When your heart and brain start gossiping like frenemies, it's your arteries that pay the price. Welcome to the organ soap opera.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sort, lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortelizer.com.
Google unveils Zero Trust AI security, promises resilience while users scour for features. When Zero Trust is your slogan, it might be time to question who's really getting trusted. Spoiler alert, it's not you, dear user.
Microsoft stock plunges while Meta rallies as investors demand immediate AI payoffs. When your investors are treating AI like a slot machine, don't be surprised if they yank the lever and expect a jackpot with every pull.
When the art of the deal turns into a reality show cliffhanger, you can almost taste the popcorn.
Minneapolis mayor urges mayors to defy Trump, warns your city is next. When the mayor's pep talk sounds like the trailer for a dystopian blockbuster, you know we're living in a plot twist. Next up, popcorn sales soar as cities brace for their own reality show of resistance.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality licks its wounds. Quote, constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your silence was the green light.
Trump sues IRS and Treasury for $10 billion, claiming tax return leak damages his reputation. When your tax returns are as secretive as the Colonel's chicken recipe, maybe a leak isn't your biggest problem. It's the recipe itself.
White House photo of Trump with Putin stirs outrage displayed above family portrait. When a photo, op with an ex-KGB agent, gets top billing over a grandkid, you know the priorities are as twisted as a pretzel in a blender. Maybe it's the new definition of family values.
Russian drones strike crowded train, leaving 5 dead, while passengers recount chaos. In a world where trains are now target practice, Russia's foreign policy is a runaway train with no brakes and zero empathy.
Trump threatens Canada with 50% tariff on aircraft, escalating trade war. Looks like Trump's ready to ground Canada's aircraft industry faster than his social media posts crash and burn.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Whispers turn to screams here. Fight This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. A symphony of chaos. Your despair is the crescendo.
Michael J. Fox returns to acting, insists it's not a career relaunch. Fox is back on set, but he's not looking to reignite the Hollywood blaze. He's just here for a cameo, not a comeback tour. Maybe he's time traveling back to when acting was just for the love of it, not the limelight.
Federal Reserve likely to keep rates steady, defying White House pressure for cuts. Looks like the Fed's playing hard to get with those interest rates, refusing to give in to the White House's desperate pleas for a cheaper borrowing spree. Who knew fiscal responsibility could be so rebellious?
Kid Rock loses more artists from festival. Backlash over MAGA links intensifies.
Democratic states plan tax hikes on wealthy, while red states cut taxes. The age-old tale of robbing the rich to, well, maybe fund some public services. Meanwhile, red states are perfecting the art of tax limbo. How low can you go before the infrastructure crumbles?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your nightmares get a standing ovation. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your apathy signed the permission slip.
Don't let me release after arrest. When life gives you lemons, apparently you make a stand against civil rights violations. Now that's the kind of zest we need in this sour world.
Jets, Are You Gonna Be My Girl still rocks, but vinyl sales plummet.
Showspeed secures Ghanaian passport, concluding Africa tour with 50 million subscribers. Looks like passports are the new subscriber badge. Next up, a West African residency program for influencers who've collected more likes than stamps.
Striking the death penalty off the table is like offering a condemned man a slightly more comfortable chair. It's judicial mercy in a system where life sentences are just a slower march to the same grim end.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now on clearance. But this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Welcome to the void, where your belief in control is the punchline.
Mother Nature's on a rampage, and she's got a hit series planned. Spoiler alert, winter's coming, and it's bringing a body count.
Meta buys Cat Power's soul. Calls it art.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Sunday, the 1st of February, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, and any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. So if you believe any of this is real, I have a bridge to sell you on the moon made from conspiracy theories. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.